Tuskegee University, the #3 HBCU college in the nation. We're live on the campus getting set for Golden Tigers basketball. We are all gathered just inside that arena. And you take a look at the floor here in Chappie James Arena as the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. We are in the first round of the 2025 SIAC Basketball Championship. The Golden Tigers, #2 in the West, getting set to host the #7 seed in the East, the Tigers of Benedict College in SIAC action. Mark Lassiter alongside Charles Ward. Glad you could join us here in GTSN. Mark, once again, a #2 versus a #7. We saw the Golden Tigers on the women's side defeat Albany State. Men looking to follow suit against Benedict.
So you know all that preparation that you do to get ready for a game.
Sure.
You follow a season, you follow a team's rhythm, you follow the roster. You try to look for trends and things that will happen that will determine the broadcast. And all of a sudden, you find out that a team gets into not just a fight, a real fight, and half their roster is missing. So how do you adjust? And the challenge for Tuskegee is the same. How do you adjust playing a team that you didn't expect to play?
They'll be playing a team with limited to just 7 players on the roster. As we take a look at the standings, we'll concentrate on the West in particular. Miles with the bye already. Tuskegee at #7 against Benedict. Central State this afternoon against Fort Valley. And then Kentucky State playing Edward Waters in men's contest. We'll keep you updated on those ball games as this one gets set to unfold. As we take a look at some of the key players in this ball game for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, they are led on the floor by one of their generals, and that is DeAnthony Pennington for Tuskegee.
DeAnthony Pennington is the key to the Tuskegee offense. He of the high arcing rainbow jumper. If Pennington can get loose early, it will be bad news for Benedict.
Pennington, #20 in the conference in scoring, does a lot of his work from outside, but he also gets some help on the offensive end. For Pennington, you take a look at shot there in the corner, but he also gets a lot of help from the inside with Kasami Draper in terms of Draper's work.
The word for big #21, Kasami Draper, is steady. He's a player that has been incredibly even-keeled emotionally and production-wise all season, both in offensive rebounding and scoring.
That trio for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee, you got to mention Kevin Sesberry because he leads the team in scoring from outside and does a lot more for them as well.
Now the word for Sesberry is clutch. And I was noticing during the pregame warm-ups, Sesberry started the last game, had a large brace on that knee, which he injured. Now he still has that knee wrapped, but there is a sleeve covering it, and it's much lighter. He played without the brace in the second half of the previous game.
Sesberry, as you referenced, playing with that wrap on his knee, took the wrap off at halftime of the last ball game. He only finished with 26 points after that.
He was a different player. Once he got rid of the brace, it was like he was relying on the brace to do some work for him. He just did away with it, and his game exploded.
Indeed, Coach Taylor was talking about it at half game of the women's contest, that once he got that psychological element out of his mind that he was hampered by the brace, took it off, then he really went free for him and really turned into the Sesberry that we're used to seeing all season.
Now here's the key for Tuskegee this afternoon, Charles. If Tuskegee starters can set the table for their bench, they should be able to run this team out of the gym because they're only suiting up a limited number of players. And I'd like to hear more about what happened to get them to this point against Morehouse.
Well, I'm not clear on all the details, but all I know is that there were a lot of players ejected from Benedict and from Clark Atlanta, so both of those teams playing shorthanded. And it happened in the first half of the ball game, so they wound up not declaring a winner or finishing the ball game. They actually had to suspend the entire thing.
Wow.
So that's why Benedict is coming in currently shorthanded in this basketball game today. They're 7th in the East, and they'll be with 7 players this afternoon against the Golden Tigers offense that really is predicated on what its defense does, just like the women, to get that offense free flowing.
There was one stat that jumped off the table as we get ready for the starting lineups. Benedict turns the ball over more than they have assists.
Not the kind of stat you want to be glaring as a part of your program. So the starting lineups being introduced here inside Chappie James Arena. And PA announcer Paul Carney handling the PA starting lineup duties here inside Chappie James. This is first round play of the 2025 SIAC basketball tournament for the Tigers of Benedict College. Dante Wims, a junior from Nassau, Bahamas. Kadarius Baggett, a senior from Arkansas, transferred from Albany Tech into Benedict. Tony Webb, senior, he's a junior. He's a sophomore from Chicago in their lineup. Khalil Campbell, a sophomore from Conway, South Carolina. And they have a number 23 showing as Stephen Lyles, but they also have a 23 showing as Zion Gunter. I'm almost of the belief that Stephen Lyles is showing here is the Stephen Lyles that plays for Spring Hill and not for Benedict. But we're going to clear that up as this first couple of minutes of this basketball game unfolds. Tigers coached by Arthur Maddox. He's in its 7th season, but of note, looking over there to see if I see Coach Maddox. It's not now I finally see him there on the bench for the Tigers of Benedict College. Now, for the TNT Fireworks starting lineup for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. They will go with Kevin Sasbury, the senior from Lithonia, Georgia. Kevin on the season leads him at 17.3 points per ball game. DeAnthony Pennington, a senior from Kansas City, Missouri. DeAnthony at 12.5 points per ball game leads the team in steals with 1 per 9 per contest. Rodney Walker Jr. from Decatur, Illinois. Rodney at 7.3 points leads the team in assists with 7.3 per ball game. It'll be the freshman Noah Goins from Mansfield, Texas. Noah with his biggest ball game of the season in the win against Lemoyne Owens College, had 12 points and 4 rebounds in 26 minutes of play for Tuskegee. And the Golden Tigers rounding out their 5, it'll be the junior from Conyers, Georgia, Kasame Draper. Draper on the season 8th in scoring in the conference at 16.4 points per ball game, and leads Tuskegee in terms of rebounding at 6.9 per outing. So it's Sasbury, Goins, Pennington, Draper, and Walker, the 5 for head coach Benchy Taylor. Coach Taylor in his 6th campaign, and he's assisted by Jameer Cheek and Devin Booker.
You just said the magic word, rebounding, because Wims is the leading rebounder for Benedict, and Tuskegee will be focused on keeping him off the glass.
So players at midcourt to get things started. The officiating crew for the men's contest, Giannis Basil and Jarrell DeBartoleden and Nathan Pinkard calling the call here for this first round ball game against Tuskegee and Benedict. Draper at the center, and he will be jumping against Webb and Tuskegee with the first crack at it offensively. Half-court set, Draper just in front of a lean Benedict bench, and a spinner on the first one by D.A. Pennington. Took 3 revolutions and falls appropriately on the 3-point shot for Pennington to get things started.
It's a good sign to start the game.
Still another good sign. Pennington wrapped behind pass. Sasbury, and Sasbury with the flush on the inside with the Alabama power point in the paint to get things started.
Good look by R.J. Walker, and Benedict gets a quick timeout.
Things not starting away for Benedict the way that they want it, but all good for Tuskegee. Pennington with a 3-point shot, then on a steal and a wraparound pass to Sasbury, and Sasbury with the easy lay-in as we take a look at some of the early action there after the steal. Look at the nice wrap behind there, and Sasbury takes care of business for Tuskegee after that.
The key was the pass by D.A. Gave him the look, the open man on a 2-on-1 break.
That trio of Sasbury, Walker, and Pennington, probably the best 3-guard combo in the entire SIAC.
Tuskegee still wearing their black and silver NBA All-Star Game weekend sparkly shoes.
Well, you know what? I was promised a pair of those by Coach Taylor. I was hoping I was going to have them before tonight.
Well, you tell him I wear 12 and a half.
Jumper in the corner. That one's off the mark by the Tigers. Now they get a follow-up on the inside and a basket there. And they got it inside. Looks like they're going to that basket was by Tony Webb on the inside. So Webb with his first field goal. And back on the inside, shot on the miss there by Tuskegee. So Benedict back the other way. Tuskegee with a 5-2 lead. On a turn now, this is Wims. Wims gives it over to Campbell. Now a jumper out front. This one's short of the mark by Hunter. And Tuskegee back the other way. Sasbury to the right side, and Sasbury with his 2nd field goal of the ball game.
Sasbury caught Tony Webb with his head turned. Webb was backpedaling, and Sasbury just flew past him.
Badgett with it in a half-court set. Dribbles right into a double team. Got it out front to Wims. And Benedict trailing now 7-2. They have it in a half-court set with 15 to shoot. They go across the floor. Wims, Cox Ames fires a 3-pointer, left it short. Goins with his first rebound of the ball game. Salisbury right side for Tuskegee. Cross dribble, lead behind Draper. Right block. Pushes back out front. Walker for three. Front of the iron. Missed on the shot. Draper contests but wins with the rebound.
I would imagine with Benedict starting this random five, you're going to see a lot of hoisting of unusual shots early in this ball game. They're going to be trying to find whatever they can.
Indeed, you're right, Coach Arthur Maddox. He's not going to have a whole lot to say about it because this is what he's left with in terms of players. A lot of stuff taking place in the course of the regular season. They don't have at their benefit here tonight. On the move, left side, Badgett. And at the block, tied up there, Tuskegee took it away. Outlet pass, Walker, right side, up the floor, Draper. Draper back to RJ. RJ for three, short again this time. Backside rebound down at the block. And Benedict comes back the other way.
On the other side, Tuskegee's going to have to be very smart on their offensive shot selection in transition.
Half-court set lead behind Webb. Down at the block now. Campbell turns. And a shot rejected on the inside. That's a Yellowwood block there by Draper on the inside. Salisbury spins left side all the way to the rack, leaning back with the jumper. Spinner on the cylinder. Rebound cleared. Benedict back the other way.
Salisbury so quick on that spin. I don't think that left knee is favoring him as much as it was in the last game.
Half-court set now. On a weave out front, Benedict with the basketball. Yeah, I'm looking at this Benedict roster now, and it's showing 23 is Stephen Lyles. That's the one from Spring Hill. Jumper out front by Baguette is off the mark. Lyles, remember him from Johns Creek, Georgia. So 23 for the Tigers of Benedict. Right now, it's Zion Gunter listed on the roster. Missed shot there by Tuskegee. We go back the other way.
I like the pace that Tuskegee's playing with. Not too fast, not out of control, trying to run in their offense, but run it at a efficient pace.
Benedict half-court set. Tuskegee with a 7-2 lead. Pass left block there. And now they push it back out front. Jumper, that one's off the mark by Hunter. Rebound, Salisbury gives it over to Walker. Up the floor, Pennington. He'll run left side. DA on the move, swings across the floor, Salisbury. Kevin on the move, right blank. Bank now gives back Draper, foul unextended. Draper with the jumper, rattled and he missed. Goins trying to keep it alive. It'll go over to Benedict.
Draper got the look that he wanted, gathered. I like the composure that he showed on the shot, just simply back-rimmed it.
15:52 remains, first half of play. First media timeout comes with Tuskegee leading at 7-2 over the Tigers of Benedict. This is first round action of the 2025 SIAC Basketball Championships, and you're watching it on GTSN.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow...
Back live inside, Chappie James, that familiar amen corner for that Golden Tigers basketball team. They huddle down to our left, and they lead 7-2 over the Tigers of Benedict.
Charles, back in the day, one of my favorite girl groups was a group named the Ronettes, and one of their hit songs was They Do Run, Run, Run. Huh? And if Tuskegee wants to do anything with this shorthanded squad of Benedict, they want to run them. And they're going to go deep in their bench if they have to.
I remember that song. I don't think I knew whoever sang it, but I remember the song.
Oh, I had a serious crush on all three of the Ronettes.
Had a serious crush on all three and just came away empty, right?
Empty-headed. Nothing but a
dream.
Glazed donut.
Sure. Half-court set for the Tigers of Benedict. Pennington almost tapping that one away, trying to influence the officials right away, coming up, pointing in the other direction, but it'll stay with Benedict.
So to that end, Tuskegee wants to play up-tempo, but they don't want to play out of control. Look for them to really push the action.
Half-court set now as Baguette handles left side, looking to the inside, trying to dump it down low there to Bretton Matumbo, the senior, who's out on the floor now. He'll backpedal on Draper underneath the defense, but left the shot short. Rebound, Dylan Cambridge, the redshirt sophomore, out on the floor. Got it over to Austin Taylor. Taylor to DA. Pennington, rainbow three, front of the iron on the shot. Cambridge trying to fight it for a rebound. Lost it to Campbell, and Benedict back the other way, trailing by 5. Baguette, hard push to the rack right side. Nicely done by him on that basket.
You see the name Gretner Mutombo, that he's from the Republic of Congo.
Oh, yeah.
Makes you wonder what the relationship is to our beloved Dikembe.
And the late Dikembe. Front half-court set. Now Sesbury almost lost it, but Taylor regains for Tuskegee. 14 to shoot. Left side just in front of that lean Benedict bench is Pennington. Across the floor, Taylor down in the corner, 5 to shoot. Sesbury on the move now. Got 4 to get it airborne. Jumped out of the defense, but missed on the shot. Backside rebound. Cambridge just shoving Jalen Blunt to the floor, right side, and Dillon picks up his first personal.
So far, Tuskegee's getting decent looks at the hoop. Just got to be a little bit more settled in their offense, composed, make the shots when you get space.
Saw them in warm-up today, Tuskegee, and I was looking at Dillon down at the block, and I didn't know who he was because we're used to seeing him with the afro, but he had the dreads on. So right before the game, I said, Dillon, I saw you down on the floor, but I didn't know who you were. I was looking on the roster to see if we added anybody this late in the season. He said, no, I got the headband today, so I got to go with the dreads. Looking sharp on the floor. Tuskegee right now looking pretty sharp. They lead at 7-4 with 14-13 left. Basketball, Culpepper almost taking it away. Look at Chip on the floor. Took it away. Got it over to Tuskegee. Up the floor. Cambridge to the rack. Good defensive recovery down low by Wims for the block. How about Chip Culpepper on that defensive play? If we got that on replay, that's worthy of just seeing him. That's what he's known for. He's a defensive specialist. Double C working for Tuskegee at the half courts in this basketball game. You see him tap it there. Watch him go straight to the floor to take control of it on the floor. That's how you do it. Sesbury out front for 3, and that's how you do that.
The defensive effort setting up the open look for Sesbury.
Sesbury already with 7 in this first half. Tuskegee with 10-4 lead. Half-court set. Campbell pushes in the corner. Blunt slides back out front with the basketball. Culpepper guarding him. 15 to shoot for Tuskegee. Now Draper jumps out, and they try to double Blunt out front. He lost his dribble, goes down to the block to Mutombo. He's doubled there by Goins and Draper. Underneath the defense this time, Mutombo got enough on the shot to get it in for the lay-in.
Excellent footwork by Mutombo, holding his pivot foot while making a change of direction move.
Draper and Goins down low. They just slide in between the two of them on the defensive end. Culpepper at the block. Noah in the corner, doubled, slides it over to Draper in traffic, and Benedict took it away. Dangerous pass there by Goins. Space just simply not there.
If you're going to get the pass to Draper, you got to get it to him above his waistline.
Dump it down low, and the Benedict throws it away. Taylor wants to lead a 2-on-2. Left side, Sesbury. Kevin bumping inside, turns with the jumper. Got it in the left corner.
Sesbury smooth with it on the baseline. Elevated, hung just an extra split second with the ball in one hand.
Taylor giving him enough space to get that basketball and go to work in the corner. So Tuskegee up to a 12-6 lead with 12:30 left first half. First round action of the 2025 SIAC Basketball Championship. Mutombo down at the corner, one-on-one against Noah. Underneath Noah's defense to the rack, banked it, missed on the shot, but a rebound backside to Wims. They get another 20. Wims underneath the defense, tried to reverse lay-in, and he'll get the benefit of a whistle down low.
Dante Wims out of Nassau in the Bahamas has really great footwork down on the baseline, not to travel and get the ball up on the rack.
Take a look at that run out by Tuskegee on the other end of the floor prior to the action here, as Taylor works the basketball, and watch him giving up early enough way out front to give Sesbury enough time to work with, and Sesbury with that quick move and the turn in the paint got the basket. Wims with that first free throw, and that's the thing about Austin Taylor. He does not make a lot of contributions that you're going to see in the stat column for Tuskegee, but when Coach Taylor needs to get somebody out as a reserve, taking place either Pennington or Walker on the floor, Taylor provides that stability and can provide a spark when he recognizes something on the floor that he can take advantage of.
Yeah, the common term used for players like that, they call them glue players.
Oh yeah, I like that. Half-court set, Tuskegee leads 12-7. Walker back out on the floor, bounce pass up top Culpepper. Left side Pennington trying to get it to Draper at the block. Matumbo covering defensively. Hook shot by Draper in the paint, missed. Noah with a rebound. Fights it toward the rack, and Noah, the freshman's fouled.
Draper and Matumbo operating in a high atmosphere that time as Draper was trying to get the jump hook.
Draper missed there. 11:51 left, first half. We take a look at that replay of the half-court set there. Big bodies on the inside. Draper missing on a hook shot, but Noah, as he ordinarily does for Tuskegee, just fighting for a second chance opportunity for Tuskegee. TU leads 12-7. We'll take a timeout here on GTSN.
Be the you you've always wanted to be. Wind Creek Casino. It's your
Back live here inside Chappie James for our final time of the basketball season. Final contest for Tuskegee here at Tuskegee. They'll go on the road if the men are successful to Morehouse at Forbes Arena for continued play in the SIAC in the second round, trying to follow the suit of the women who won earlier this afternoon.
You know, I give credit to the players that are showing up for Benedict. They are missing half of their roster. There was one stat that jumped out at me when I looked at the cumulative stats from the SIAC. The single most important thing to remember is that they have more turnovers than assists. They have 414 turnovers to a total of 237 assists. That's an incredible total that usually you want to flip that 2-to-1 the other way.
Sure, no doubt about it. And this from a program that perennially has always been at the top of the SIAC in terms of won losses, and even under Arthur Maddox for the last several years, they've been contenders for the SIAC crown. But this year, in kind of a transition, and this little brawl is the only way we can put it, really just kind of upset them even more as it relates to their team being seventh and competing in this basketball game. Not the kind of way you want the season to finish. Draper underneath the defense, missed on the shot right side, and there again, Noah on cue got a rebound for a second chance opportunity for Tuskegee. Entry pass, Goins, foul line extended. Whistles on the play. Foul inside.
Draper was begging for the ball inside against Matumbo. Had Matumbo on his hip, sealed off with his left arm, calling for it with his right hand, had his eyes wide open, just wanted the ball so he could operate.
And as this season has unfolded, Kasame just a lot more confident about his inside play, and as you referenced, really starts to call for that basketball a lot more. Walker on the inbound play, missed on a three-pointer. There's Goins with another rebound for Tuskegee. Noah back to the free throw line for the Golden Tigers.
Goins just slithering inside, getting a good angle to make that offensive board catch.
Noah, listed at 6'5", really plays a lot larger than that on the floor. And as you referenced, frame not that big, but just finds a way to slither inside to get some rebounds. Noah on the first free throw, spins and misses that one. Khalil Campbell, the sophomore, back out on the floor now for Coach Maddox and the Golden Tigers. He will replace Wims in their lineup.
Goins isn't one of the taller players on the starting lineup for Tuskegee, but he has an explosive jump. Can really get off the floor quickly.
Noah missed them both from the line. Basketball's loose on the floor near the free throw line, and Benedict comes away with it. Tuskegee leads with 11:20 remaining in this first half, 13-7. Half-court set. Baguette back out on the floor now. He'll circle left side. On a weave, gives it to Blunt. .11 to shoot now for Benedict. Baguette, jumper, runner out front. Good spin, missed on the shot. Put back is missed. Basketball finally in the hands of Draper and Tuskegee.
Tony Webb Jr. did an excellent job of rebounding that ball, but just couldn't make the layup inside.
Pennington on the move right side, got space with the jumper, and DA just leaves that hand hanging in the air because he knows the result. He knocked that one down.
Leaves it up there because it's so pretty.
Got the basket. He's got 5 in the first half. Tuskegee with a 15-7 lead. We're at 10:30 remaining. Running jumper there. Blunt, left side. Nicely done by him to finish. His field goal makes it 15-9. His first points of the ball game. Tuskegee with the lead and the basketball. Pennington across the floor to Culpepper. Double C down at the block. Draper. Draper guarded down low by Webb. Turns, jumper, Draper, back of the iron. Rebound, Culpepper in the corner, fresh 20, but they throw it away to the Tigers of Benedict. Culpepper. Sorry, Mark.
No, my apologies. Excellent job on the offensive glass. Just a reckless pass.
Trying to get it back in play real hurriedly inside the Draper, but the defense already collapsed on that. Good idea, but too late in execution. Jumper out front, back at. He knocks it down for the Tigers.
Now, here's the thing, Charles. The longer you let a team this overmatched hang close to you, the more they start getting confidence. It's only 15-12 midway through the first.
Draper at the foul line. Up top, Walker. This time for three. Rodney finally finds the range with that field goal from out front.
Tuskegee absolutely positively wants to play with a lead.
Right now they lead at 18-12 with 9 minutes, 13 seconds left first half. Left side, Pennington anticipating it, coming away almost with the steal for Tuskegee. Nice job by the captain there, chasing that basketball at the sideline.
I like his balance because he was coming directly at you on the sideline. Sure. Planted that foot and cut away at the last minute.
Right?
Like that.
You can't handle this, Charles. Your defense isn't ready for that.
You were getting ready to take a charge, my friend.
No, yeah, a real charge. Different definition of getting into the broadcast, right? It's about to get floored over here. Tuskegee up by 6 with 9:04 left first half. Entry pass, Wims at the free throw line, back at on the move left side. He's got some space, running jumper, spins that one good. So back-to-back field goals by Baguette. It'll make it 18-14. Walker, half-court set for Tuskegee. Now up top, Sesbury pops out. Entry pass, Cambridge slipped down, trying to come back to the basketball. Basketball over to Benedict as a result. Benedict can cut the deficit to 1. Webb pushes back out front, now to Baguette, the senior. And they tap it around, and it comes clear to Campbell. Underneath on a reverse lay-in, they finish with Wims with the basket underneath for the Golden Tigers. And they'll cut the Golden Tiger lead to 18-16.
Wims is very active on the baseline, working from left to right.
Nice cross dribble there by Rodney, right side in the corner. Sesbury for 3. Line drive, and Sesbury is on target for the Golden Tigers. Sesbury from behind the arc. 36% shooting. Got that one in the corner to extend the Tuskegee lead to 21-16, 8:03. And they'll treat this one as immediate timeout. We'll step out as well on GTSN. We would be remiss if we did not thank the Golden Tiger cheerleading squad for their efforts all season long to cheer on the men and women's basketball program here at Tuskegee University. Cheer advisor Andrea Lund does a wonderful job with that squad year in and year out, and no exception this season. They have been the 6th man and woman on the floor for Golden Tigers basketball. After the timeout, Tuskegee with a 21-16 lead as the teams make it back on the floor with 8:03 remaining in this first half. First round action of the 2025 SIAC basketball tournament. Charles Ward, Mark Laster with the call here from Chappie Arena at Tuskegee. First round being played here. Steal there at the mid-stripe by Goins. Over to Rodney. Pennington behind the arc. Rainbow finds his way at the bottom of the cylinder.
Tuskegee initiated its defense at three-quarter court. A simple turnover on the catch by Goins.
Trying to step things up a little bit to challenge him. They get another turnover here. Tuskegee back the other way, leading 24-16. Pennington behind the arc. Sesberry for three. Line drive, front of the iron. Rebound, Mutombo, who's back out on the floor for Benedict.
You may not be able to outshoot at school like this, but you can out-defense them.
Nice call. That's right. Jumper out front. That one knocked down by Mutombo, showing nice range out front. I think that was a three for him.
Open look, wide open.
Pennington, half-court set. Tuskegee leads 24-19. We're at 7:10 left first half. Walker attacks, now slides back out front. Goins with the basketball. Dumping it down low to Draper. That one's too deep and out of bounds.
I don't know if Mutombo is any relation to Dikembe. If I can hear him talk, because he that, hello, how are you doing? That voice of Dikembe is unmistakable.
Hey, I don't know. I think all the brothers from the Republic talk like that way, man. That's no different.
I had a chance to work with Dikembe on some ads. He's really a pleasure to work with.
Sure. Everybody in some form or fashion missing him. No question. 6:55 left first half play. First round action from the 2025 SIAC Basketball Championship presented by Cricket. Tuskegee with the lead. Benedict with the basketball. Benedict number 7 in the East. Half court set. Baguette works it right side. Walker guarding him defensively. Up top with the pass. Got it to Hunter. Or Gunter, that is. Now they work it at the block. Mutombo working one-on-one against Draper. Pushes his way toward the rack, spins with the left hand, missed on that shot. Rebound wins in the corner, fresh 20. Oh, no fresh 20, they didn't hit anything. Baguette out front, hit the back of the iron, but he missed on the shot.
Tuskegee went through with the break as the shot clock went off and play was stopped.
Giannis Brazel over at the scorers table. See how they got 29 on the shot clock right now. They got a shot up before the buzzer. It hit the cylinder, so it wasn't a violation of any sort on the shot, but he's just trying to make sure that the shot clock reflects that time. So Tuskegee will have it with 29 seconds on the clock.
Tuskegee's got to protect the basketball, only up by 5.
Tried to bounce it inside, or no, direct pass on the inside. Mutombo blocked that one out of bounds for Benedict. So Tuskegee now with 21 to shoot and a half-court set. Khalil Campbell back out on the floor now for Coach Maddox. Coach Maddox in his 7th season at Benedict. Alley-oop at the block. Draper on Mutombo. Draper inside the paint. Back to D.A. Got a floater. Got it to fall. Another three-point basket there by Pennington. He can do that all day long if you don't put any pressure on him. He's got 3 three-pointers for Tuskegee. Half-court set. Blunt from way out front. Line drive. The left-hand shooter missed on the shot. Sesberry got a rebound. Kevin wants to run it. Kevin, left side lead behind Rodney. Rodney up top. D.A. again for 3. Counted again for Pennington. Pennington knows this is his last trip here at Chappie James. He's making the best of it. He's got 4 three-pointers already in this basketball game.
Pennington, as we call, as one of the potential keys to this ball game. If he gets loose, gets space with his shot, demonstrating his range on that 3. The vibes three-point shot.
4:40 remaining in this first half of play. Tuskegee extends its lead to 30-19. Nice call on the Vibes Restaurant three-point basket, man. They have to get you a meal after this.
That's not a bad idea.
Willie over there, the owner of Vibes Restaurant, may have heard you make that call. Might have to go over afterwards. Missed shot there for Benedict. Tuskegee on a run out, back the other way. Sesberry right side, lead behind Rodney. Rodney for 3. Missed on this three-point effort. Rebound by Benedict. Tuskegee threatening to turn this into a glorified practice session with 5:10 remaining in this first half. Lofting shots that way to the rack and a missed, and a follow-up is missed on the inside as well by Campbell. D.A. on a push out for Tuskegee left side. Behind the back, he'll raise again for 3. Come on, D.A.
His mama named him D'Anthony. I'm going to call him D'Anthony again.
I am. That's
3 in a row.
That's 5 for him in the ball game in the first half. Lighting the joint up here at Chappie James. Right side, Campbell with the basketball. He'll push back out front to Wims. Now across the floor, Blunt again for 3. Back of the iron, missed on that shot. Sliding down and on the floor and out of bounds.
So here's the trick, Charles. What Tuskegee's been able to do is not just take threes, but take good threes in rhythm and in balance. Pennington on the last 3 attempts getting enough space to get comfortable, take his shot in rhythm, and the results are plain.
4:33 remains in this first half of play. And you're right, Tuskegee finding the spot on the floor. And it's easy pickings for them. Pennington already with 17 in this first half of play.
They needed those shots because Tuskegee wanted to create some space between themselves and Benedict, playing with half a roster.
Out front with the basketball, Baguette for the the Tigers of Benedict. Walker guarding defensively for Tuskegee. Hop step down in the corner. Wims on the move. Good move by him underneath. He'll draw a foul. Noah catching up. Salisbury trying to defend out front. They'll get Noah with the personal.
Wims was exceptionally quick along the baseline, but Tuskegee with the closeout sent 2 players to the rack to defend him. He gets contact, but an excellent job of making that an adjustment on defense by the Golden Tigers.
Wims, the junior from Nassau, Bahamas, got that first free throw for them. Got him with 4 in this basketball game so far for the Tigers of Benedict. He'll set for the second of 2. Right now, Tuskegee 12 of 27 shooting from the floor, 8 of 14 from behind the arc. Half-court backcourt pressure by Tuskegee are being defended by Benedict to get it up the floor to Draper. Draper in the paint. Lost it momentarily on the shot, but able to regain and get the lay-in for Tuskegee.
The thing about that last attempt by Draper, he lost it going up, got possession, continued through with his motion, and with the finger roll, just guided the ball through the rim.
Nice call. Draper with his first field goal of the ball game. As you look at what he did in that half-court set, your point right on, Mark. He lost it momentarily, but able to keep it and got the lay-in.
Draper made the difficult look easy.
So he'll be at the line. Second team all-conference player coming into this season. All-conference selection is going to be announced on Wednesday as Draper finishes on a 3-point play, and no reason to believe that he won't be amongst the all-conference players this year as well. Baguette down to Blunt. Blunt on the move in the right corner now, pulls back out front as Draper defends. Now Wims out front. Lost his dribble. We're at 3:50 remaining in the first half. Campbell pushes back to Wims. 13 to shoot. Lean back in the jumper for Wims in the corner. Missed on the shot. Baguette got a rebound. Challenged inside. And how about that Yellowwood block shot by Rodney Walker Jr. inside for Tuskegee?
Tenacious defense by Walker in there with the trees that time. Wims is 6'6". Walker stuck with him. Got his hand on the ball.
Media timeout. 3:39 remains. Tuskegee with a 36-21 lead over the Tigers of Benedict College. We're live in first round action of the 2025 SIAC Basketball Championships, and we are live on GTSM.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow.
The captain from Tuskegee saying, "Get on my shoulders, boys, and I'll take you to Atlanta." From out front, he knocks down a 3-pointer there. Same thing out front again. You'll see this 5 times in this first half. Another one behind there. You'll see 3 in this replay. But trust me, he hit 2 more just as effective as those 3.
You know what I love about Pennington's threes is that when he takes them, they actually disappear from the frame of the shot, and then they come raining out the other side.
Sure. Yeah. It's almost at the top of the ceiling here inside Chappie. Play resumes. Tuskegee with it in the backcourt. Pennington already with 17 in this first half of play. Sesbury with 12. 3:27 left first half. DA backpedals now. Cross dribble by him. Trying to get it. Got it to Sesbury. Now with the block they go to Draper with 10 to shoot. Draper with the drop step in the corner. Head fakes. Leans back. Jumper. Draper. Missed on the shot. Backside rebound. Benedict. Baguette pushing out of the pack. He'll come across the timeline. In between the legs, lost his dribble inside the paint, got it to Blunt. Blunt for three. He can't find the range. That was down for a second or two and popped out of there. Now it's loose on the floor and the tie-up. Pennington and Campbell down at the block.
Draper of Tuskegee has two unique matchups that are very different. That time he's working against Tony Webb, 6'7". He's got to be about 250. Also operating against Mutombo, who goes 6'10", but much lighter. So he's working against a bruiser and a gazelle.
Oh, I like the comparison. Down on the inside. This time it was the bruiser. Campbell got a lay-in for Benedict. That's his first field goal of the ball game. Spring Hill, looking at some of the scores on the men's side. Fort Valley, Central State. Those ball games are early first half action. Central State with a 14-11 lead. 9:51 left in the first. Draper at the block right side. Look at the move back of Same Draper right side.
Used his body to shield the ball. Got a hip into Webb, who was bouncing off of him. Now Webb is a strong man. So Draper with excellent body control, getting the shot and the call.
Draper at the block, going body to body on the inside with Webb and pushed him out of the way. Got the basket. Draper trying to cap on the three-point play.
Key for Draper is to feel contact, keep your balance, and be able to make that layup. It looks easy from a distance, but when you get a hit by a man that large, it will throw you off balance.
Yeah, wherever you were headed, you get pushed in the other direction. 2:25 left first half. Tigers throw the basketball away into the Golden Tiger bench, and Tuskegee back the other way with a 39-23 lead.
This is a mental possession for Tuskegee. If they can go up 41-23, it just looks better on the scoreboard.
Pennington out front for Tuskegee. Right side of Roy Obscene out on the floor. Now Roy works it in the corner to DA. DA looks on the weave, gives it to Sesbury. Kevin inside, lost his balance. It's loose on the floor. And I think it's going to stay with Tuskegee at will. They'll have 13 to shoot.
Sesbury was trying to wheel and deal inside. Had contact. Actually almost got that shot up on the glass.
You get what's this one off in the corner, and he knocked it down for Tuskegee. His second three-pointer of the ball game. Tuskegee from behind the arc now. They are 8 of 14 shooting. Half-court set for Benedict. Tuskegee with a 42-23 lead. Campbell slipped down right side, got it back to Blunt. He'll fire again. This time Blunt finds the range just in front of the Tuskegee bench. He's got 5 for Benedict. A minute 30. Quick moving first half here at Chappie James. Pennington out front. Entry pass Draper. Jumper, up St. Roy, back of the iron on that. Rebound fought for. Draper got it on the inside. Turns, left side Sesbury, same corner, same result.
Sesbury, smooth with it from the corner.
Back-to-back three-pointers by him. Tuskegee up by an even 20 now. Basketball tap. Pennington says he was clear on the knockaway. They don't agree. Take a look at the three-point shot of Vibes Restaurant. Three-point basket by Sesbury, deep in the corner. And you know what he did there. Knocked it down just like he did on the shot prior.
Benedict would be wise not to give Sesbury that good a look from 3.
Yeah, it's to your point, though. You're talking about a team that's short of personnel with 7 dressing out. You're already deep into the first 20 minutes of play for some players who probably not are used to logging this many minutes in a ball game. That wear and tear, that fatigue can set in early, and it's tougher to pull out on those other players in space shooting shots.
Well, you know the clue as well as anyone. When players start to lean over and grab those shorts, that's a certain sign of fatigue.
Officials are coming over our way. They want to see if they can't pull up that last foul play from the truck to see if we can help them out here. Give us just a second, gentlemen. We're having them at the truck to see if they can rack it up. You're looking at the last foul on. Are we able to get that for them? We're working on it. Just a second. Was it on this end? Is on this end where the foul was? Okay. The last foul. Can we re-rack that for the foul, gentlemen? We're working on it. Here it comes. Yeah. Yeah, they were trying to determine, thanks guys for the work in the truck, they were trying to determine who that foul was on. They gave an initial call of, they said 33, but Austin wasn't on the floor. It was D.A. Pennington that's guilty of the foul for Tuskegee. So glad to help out the officiating crew there to determine who committed that foul. And at the free throw line for the Tigers, it's Khalil Campbell shooting, and Campbell hit the first.
You know, it's interesting, Charles, before games, to see the expressions on officials' faces when they discover that GTSN has the availability of a replay. It's like they have a sigh of relief, like we have something to back us up if we need it.
Indeed, and Giannis is the referee for the ball game. He's been here before when we covered on GTSN. He said, I can't remember the last time. How many looks did you all have? I said 4, Giannis. He was like, oh, okay. So they get their first look on a replay here, thanks to our spectacular crew at GTSN all season long. Just been on top of things in terms of our coverage, and this time helping out the officials. Now Taylor is out on the floor with less than a minute remaining. Culpepper out there as well, with Blunt handling the basketball. He's got 7 to shoot. Culpepper taps it away. Blunt runs it down. Now he's down to 3 to fire. That one's partially deflected on a Yellowwood block shot there by Culpepper. Culpepper back to Roy, and 17 seconds left. Let's see how this reserve unit for Tuskegee handles these final 12 seconds. Amir Boyce pushes back to Taylor. 8 to shoot. Austin slides left side, had it kicked off of his left foot and out of bounds. He's trying to get it in the hands of Roy Upsaint, the freshman. Roy is a spectacular three-point shooter. Not able to get that one airborne. Turnover gives it back to Benedict with 5 seconds left first half. Campbell unbounded. Blunt will handle. He'll likely take that last shot. He's been the one shooting from out front. Got some space, lead behind Mutombo. Bobbled it momentarily. Couldn't get it airborne as a result. So Tuskegee in the first half. Things tight there for a little bit early on. Tuskegee finally relaxing a little bit here in the confines of Chappie James. They lead it at the break 45-28. Before we go to the break, Coach Taylor still at courtside talking to Noah Goins, the freshman, using every opportunity for a teachable moment as his squad heads to the locker room. They lead it as you see D.A. Pennington coming off the floor. Pennington already with 17, and Pennington leads them. He's already got 5 3-point baskets. At the break, Tuskegee leads 45-28. First round action of the 2025 SIAC Basketball Championships presented by Cricket. And we're live at Chappie James. Timeout for the halftime. Back with more on GTSN.
STEM careers are one of the fastest growing fields, yet women of color comprise less than 10% of the workforce within these high-paying jobs. Tuskegee University is changing this. In 2018, we were awarded a grant from the National Science Foundation to develop computer science career awareness for young African American women. In 2019, we established the Campaign for Leadership and Excellence Scholarship. It provides future female engineers with financial support to pursue their educational goals. Today, Tuskegee continues to educate African American women in STEM fields, empowering them to pursue their chosen careers and providing the foundation they need to transform science, medicine, and technology. If a STEM career is in your future, explore what Tuskegee can offer you.
It's 2 fouls. I think they are the brackets, or maybe some preliminary. I can't open it. It's a PDF.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks,
Why?
so less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15.
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
Staying up to date on
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks,
Why?
so less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15.
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
STEM careers are one of the fastest growing fields, yet women of color comprise less than 10% of the workforce within these high-paying jobs. Tuskegee University is changing this. In 2018, we were awarded a grant from the National Science Foundation to develop computer science career awareness for young African American women. In 2019, we established the Campaign for Leadership and Excellence Scholarship. It provides future female engineers with financial support to pursue their educational goals. Today, Tuskegee continues to educate African American women in STEM fields, empowering them to pursue their chosen careers and providing the foundation they need to transform science, explore what Tuskegee can offer you.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep. I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah. My power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make it to level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
And we are back live here inside Chappie James. Tuskegee leading at 45-28 over the Tigers of Benedict College in first half action. A little special added feature for you in terms of our camera work here. A couple of the parents of Tuskegee ball players to the left. That's Dylan Cambridge's father gesturing with the hands, and he's talking to Kasame Draper's father here inside Chappie James. So these two gentlemen have always been kind of a part of our traveling crew wherever we've been. They've been there kind of supporting Tuskegee basketball and their sons as part of this team. And I asked them if they were going to be in Atlanta on Thursday. They said, yeah, we know we'll be there if they get into the weekend. Right?
Well, both are to be congratulated because we both know where it starts. From the formative years, first time you touch a ball, it's usually your dad that brought that first ball home for you to play with. And you said, what's this?
Sure.
And your dad said, this, son, is a basketball.
Let me show you, right?
Let me show you how this works.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, one of my fondest memories of my dad in terms of basketball, I was about this young man's age out here that's on the floor now just messing around, and I was playing rec ball. And then back then, you know, during the course of the season, it was kind of the winter when things started, so you had like this heavy sweatshirt that was just short sleeve. It wasn't long sleeve, but it was a sweatshirt that had your number on the back. And back then I was a big Kareem Abdul-Jabbar fan, right? So I wanted number 33, and I went to my dad. He was sitting on the porch after work, and I was saying, hey, Dad, I'm playing rec ball, and they want us to buy these jerseys to play in. And the jersey, I thought they were, back in the day, I thought it was like $7 or $8. I was just terrified to ask him for the $7 or $8, right? And he just shucked out the paper and just like that. And then I had the jersey, wore number 33 in red. And that, as they say, was history.
That's a wonderful memory. You know, unfortunately, I grew up in New York City, and you had to be decent to get on the B court in New York. And I never could get on the B court, let alone the A court.
Oh, boy.
But my dad just said, have a baseball instead.
Oh, yeah. Let me
Try this one.
Yeah, let me steer you to a smaller ball.
Exactly.
Well, it worked out.
He knew I was overmatched.
Sure.
But, you know, it's interesting showing the shots of the fathers coming off of senior day and seeing the parents last week. Just a wonderful scene at Tuskegee, and hopefully they can build on the momentum of the first half and close this second half out and make those dads proud.
Yeah, as we take a look at some of the numbers from that first half of the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee from the floor at 47%. And look at them just on fire behind the arc at 59% shooting, 10 of 17. 5 of those three-point baskets belong to D.A. Pennington in that first half.
Also go all the way to the bottom. 15 fast break points for Tuskegee to 0 for Benedict. So Tuskegee able to get out and run, obviously, against a overmatched squad. And I would expect that third quarter, fourth quarter, they'll try to do more of the same.
Indeed. I mean, you don't want to pile on for a team that's only got seven players dressing out, but you want to make sure that you are definitive in terms of your win. And if you get ahead, you want to stay far ahead.
Well, you don't want to give them any hope.
Sure, absolutely.
So the key for Tuskegee coming into the early part of the second half is just keep your foot on the gas, keep up the defensive intensity, and see if they can extend this lead. They can coast the rest of the way. They don't want to see this lead get inside of 10 if they can help it.
And indeed, and that if you get to that point, because there's such a gray area when you have a lead and you're taking it into the second half and perhaps expanding on it, you don't want to get to the point that you just overplay and have your players perhaps exposed to an injury in a ball game like this, because you know you have the second round in front of you for the tournament.
Well, I'm sure that Tuskegee is thinking, first things first, let's close this one out.
Sure.
We'll worry about Wednesday when we get on the bus.
Absolutely. They want to close things out here against the Tigers of Benedict. Right now, Tuskegee leading at the break. Number 2 out of the West, Tuskegee, versus the number 7 team out of the East in the Tigers of Benedict.
Something else came to mind, Charles. I remember when we started covering Benedict when their football program was getting off the ground.
Sure.
I'd like to give credit to their president, Rosalind Clark Artis. Benedict University has really brought the entire athletic program from really a functional 0 to where it is now. If it wasn't for the scuffle against CAU, this would be a much tougher team. But Benedict's football team, this program, has really come a long way from when we covered them first off.
Absolutely. You start talking about the president's office, but you also have to dial that down to the AD's office in Willie Washington. He's been there through it all. When they first started to where it is now, he has seen that growth and has been at the forefront of it. And as you referenced, that program at Benedict, certainly football has really come around the last couple of years, but basketball has just been there forever and a day. Fred Watson, now the head coach at Miles College, kind of started a tradition there in just his winning ways. And then James Rice on the women's side, they were neck to neck every year. Like, okay, is Fred going to get one this? Will James get one this year? They both got one this year. And it just went on and on and on. And that program is really headed in the right direction. You talk about presidency, it's also that AD, Willie Washington.
So let's jump in the Wayback Machine for a second. If I'm not mistaken, you and I covered Benedict football in either their second or third year of operation at CAU. It was a brand new program at the time, and no one really knew what to make of it. And look at where they are, probably a couple decades later.
Sure, it just really shows that if there's a commitment from the top down, that's how you build programs. Seeing the same thing with the athletics director at Tuskegee right now with Reginald Ruffin at Miles College. Seeing it here with Dr. Brown at Tuskegee. With that leadership from the president, the Tuskegee program is really starting to expand and really you're going to see even more dividends from it as the investment continues in the program, from facilities and the quality of players and student athletes. But that is no mistake about it. That's how you get it done. You got to have that commitment from the top.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
And we'll make that point even further as it relates to, you're talking about another program in the conference. You mentioned their name as it relates to part of the brawl in terms of Clark Atlanta. Remember now, Dr. George French was the president at Miles College when they experienced all that growth under AD Reginald Ruffin and head coach there. Now he's at Clark Atlanta, and you're already seeing that as it relates to football, how much they've turned, and over the last couple of years with basketball as well.
Well, given the situation with NIL, CAU's program was like flipping a switch this year between what they did the year before. All of a sudden, CAU is a contender in the SIAC, if not champion.
Indeed. That's just a testament. We got it right here on the ground at Tuskegee as the Golden Tigers lead it under the leadership of Dr. Mark Brown and Reginald Ruffin, the athletics director. And thank you, all of your alums out there who support Tuskegee athletics and the university overall. That's how you build things. Tuskegee right now with a 45-28 lead, looking to build that in the second half as we get set for action. Charles Ward, Mark Lassiter. And a special thanks, even if we don't get to it before we get out of here in the ball game today, which I'm sure we will. We won't leave the air until we do that. Special thanks to our GTSN production crew. Outstanding group of professionals who have come and created a standard in terms of our production to meet the standard of Tuskegee. After the timeout, Walker with the basketball for TU. Half court set. Left side, Noah Goins with his first touch. Kasami Draper out on the floor. Also out there, Kevin Sesberry. Draper going to work to the right side and drew a foul, and he's going to the line.
Draper very decisive on that first move, working against the much larger player inside Tony Webb Jr., the 6'7" player out of Chicago. He's not as tall as Draper. There's only about a 2-inch difference, but he is definitely muscular. But Draper taking him with the ball fake inside.
So he'll be at the line shooting for Tuskegee. Draper finished that first half with 6 points, 2 of 2 from the free throw line, and got a roll there on that first one to start the second half with that free throw. Tumbo back out on the floor. That early foul called on Webb, so that's his third, so he departs at the beginning of this second half of play. Try to get you updated on some other scores here momentarily. As Tuskegee, Draper got that second free throw, get the first 2 of the second half, 47-28 they lead. Full court pressure by Tuskegee as Benedict comes across the timeline with the basketball. It's Zion Gunter. They work it inside. Gunter looking for it on the floor, finally picks it up and pushes it back out front now to Baguette. Now on the turn, it's Campbell. Nice step by him, right side, and losing it out of bounds is Gunter. Basketball to Tuskegee. Benedict with 7 turnovers at the break. Blunt back out on the floor. He'll replace Gunter in the lineup. So thanks to Jordan Benson and the rest of the scorers across the way, got that clear. It's Zion Gunter wearing number 23. Half court set, Tuskegee now. Bounce pass at the block. Draper on Mutombo, working his way toward the rack and banked it home right side. Draper likes that matchup. Mutombo's not as big in terms of his weight on the inside as Webb and Campbell. And so that time, Kasumi just pushing Mutombo toward the cylinder.
When Draper gets the chance to operate to his strong side on the right side, it is almost automatic. That time gave an excellent ball fake to the left, came back right with the layup.
So half court set now for Benedict. Tuskegee with a 49-28 lead with 18:55 remaining, and Blunt knocks down a jumper out front. Blunt appeared in 23 ball games for the Tigers of Benedict, only 2.3 points per ball game averaging for him. So I'm assuming that he was not necessarily a starter for them, but he's shown some wear here as Draper showing some wear on the inside. Got a lay in for Tuskegee. Back-to-back field goals for Draper.
Draper says, if you want to overplay me to the right, I'll just go to the left hand.
Sure. Mutombo lost it momentarily. Now he'll go to work on Draper. One-on-one, pushes back out front. Wims with 3, knocked it down for Benedict. That's his first 3-pointer of the ball game. He's got 5. 10:08 left in the contest. Walker across the timeline for Tuskegee. The women from Tuskegee already headed to Wednesday's action in the SIAC in the second round after winning their ball game earlier, 73-53 over Albany State. First round action for the men. Tuskegee trying to follow the road to Atlanta. They lead 51-33 now with 17:54 remaining.
On that last drive, Draper was fearless with the ball fake. Seemed to anticipate contact, but didn't have a problem with taking it strong.
Draper, no problem with a jumper left side, but he left that one short, and the basketball belongs to the Tigers of Benedict. '36 meeting between these teams dating back to 2003. Last time they played, get this now, a little piece of history for you, on a half-court set for Benedict. That one's tapped around. Walker took it away. Pennington created the turnover. Walker to the rack right side, and Rodney finishes for Tuskegee. These teams played early part of this season back in January, on the 19th of January. Tuskegee won that ball game. Final score in that contest, 85-47. That was a 38-point win for Tuskegee as Blunt works at the right side, and he got a lay-in. Back-to-back field goals for him. But if you go back to a ball game that Tuskegee played against Benedict on February 12th in 2009, Benedict beat Tuskegee by 38 points. Jumper in the corner by Pennington, and he misses one. 16:50 remaining in the basketball game. Half-court set, Benedict trailing. Wims, Mutombo way out front, pushes a 3, rattled and missed. Noah Skies gets that rebound for Tuskegee. Half court set at the block. Draper on Mutombo tries to let the defense fly by. He's fouled. And Kasame to the line for the Golden Tigers to shoot.
Draper with the ball fake inside. Thought he had some barbecue chicken down low. It was a block, but he goes to the free throw line instead. But Draper has been very active early in this second half.
6:31 remains in the ball game. Draper back to the line to shoot, and that's definitely by instruction at the halftime. Coach Taylor wants to work that basketball on the inside because he knows one or two things will happen. Draper will get a little basket on the inside, or he'll get a basket in the inside, get a foul, possible three-point play, or be at the line shooting two. So every option there is a good option for Coach Taylor and Tuskegee going inside.
The thing you got to love about Draper, he's a very thoughtful ball player. His basketball intelligence allows him to decide what he's going to do before he even makes the catch. He's not indecisive at all, but he knows where the space is and where he's trying to maneuver to.
Draper got them both from the line, so Tuskegee builds its lead to 55-35. Blunt in the backcourt. He'll come across the timeline left side. Now he and Baguette play catch with it as Baguette has it. Gets it back out front. Wims, high-ranging three by him on an arcing shot, but he missed. Rebound and a putback by Baguette right side. He got a lay-in. He's got 7 for the Tigers of Benedict. We're down to 16 minutes left now. Rodney Walker. Bounce pass up top, Sesberry. Kevin across the floor, Pennington. Wims steps out defensively. Pennington wanted the three, gives it to Noah instead. Noah foul on extended. Hard step by Noah. Left side rack. Tried to go underneath the defense, and he drew a foul.
You know, every time you say baguette, even though the spelling is different, I'm smelling French bread. Baguette has an exceptional release point. He's only 6'1", but he really gets up on his jump shot.
Indeed he does. He's ranging some points for the Tigers of Benedict, but they still trail. Tuskegee leads 55-37, 15:45 remaining. Media time out here inside. Chappie James will step out on GTSN.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow...
Because they're going to Atlanta. Back live here inside Chappie James. Tuskegee with a 55-37 lead over the Tigers of Benedict. First round play of the 2025 SIAC Basketball Championships. Tuskegee working its way toward a visit to Atlanta for second round play. Women's action earlier today. Spring Hill winners over Edward Waters. That's a surprise there. Probably one of the biggest surprises as Spring Hill advances with a 71-62 win over Edward Waters. Benedict, Central State 61-56 winners on the women's side. As Goins is at the line shooting for Tuskegee after the timeout. Fort Valley Lane, a final in a low-scoring ball game. Lane wins that one 42-28. Lane finishing third in the West with a win there. As you take a look at the Tuskegee cheerleaders. And in women's action for Tuskegee, the Golden Tigers winners 73-53 on to Atlanta. Noah with both free throws for Tuskegee. 57-37, Tuskegee leads. We're down to 15:40 remaining now. Wims works his way across the timeline. He's doubled there, trying to get it across the floor. Got it to Blunt just in front of the Benedict bench. Running jumper by him. Missed on the shot. This one out of bounds. Trying to save it was Baguette, but he's out of space at the baseline. Tuskegee with the basketball. Pennington in the backcourt, over to Walker. Full court pressure by Benedict, but Draper in a half-court set in the corner. Kasami, Euro step, and got the flush on the inside. Just step past the defense, and Draper finishes with authority for Tuskegee. Gunter across the floor, a jumper from out front. That one's at the front of the cylinder by Blunt. Tuskegee back the other way. Walker with the quick step. Lead behind Noah. Slides in the paint at the block. Draper. Draper up top. DA. Can he get his sixth? You bet he can. 6 3-pointer for him out front for Tuskegee.
Pennington raining threes.
That'll make it 62-37 after Pennington's 6 3-pointer of the ball game for Tuskegee. You talk about a way to try to wrap up your final ball game in your home facility. D.A. Pennington's putting on a show right now for Tuskegee, and whistles on the floor. Pennington with 20 in the ball game. 6 of 8 from behind the arc.
Mass substitutions for Tuskegee coming off that last transition.
Noah departs. Austin Taylor out on the floor. Chip Culpepper out there. And it's Kevin Sedsbury. He's out on the floor now. Inside the paint. No call there, and it would look like a travel or a double dribble inside.
It was something.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know what it was, but it didn't look right.
And it wasn't legal, that's for sure. Instead, Baghat's at the line to shoot for the Tigers of Benedict. Just kind of surveying here inside Chappie James, a couple of spots in the seats where the Tuskegee women are kind of gathered as Baghat got that first free throw. Got their legs kicked up on the cell phones because they know they're headed to Atlanta on Wednesday for play, as some of the other scores scrolling through here on a Saturday or first round play of SIAC action at the 2025 SIAC Basketball Championships.
It's a nice trip to look forward to. I hope they get to sample one of Atlanta's better restaurants while they're there.
Oh, I'm sure they will. You're right that Coach Taylor and the athletics department at Tuskegee, Salisbury with a jumper near the free throw line, missed there. They don't miss an opportunity to show their appreciation for the student athletes, to try to treat them as best or as well as they can on the road. Blunt again, this time finds a range from out front. Jalen Blunt, the junior from Columbia, South Carolina, hits another 3-pointer for them. Nice left-handed player showing a lot of range for them. Tuskegee up by 20. Pennington, hard push. Now back to pedals behind the arc, left side, lead behind Draper. Draper across the floor, Culpepper. Chip on the move, double C to the rack, left side. Missed on the lay-in with the left hand.
Culpepper got in, just not able to make the layup.
Back the other way, Benedict with the basketball. Baghat with a jumper, missed on the shot. There's that long rebound you referenced on the 3-point shot. Blunt spins it inside the paint, got the spinner from the free throw line, so he's gotten another field goal for Benedict.
Tuskegee was on the verge of going up by 30, but due to this last spurt by Benedict, they've cut into this lead down to 18. And so with 13:27 remaining, Tuskegee wants a timeout to say, okay, let's put it into this madness. Let's close this thing out.
Indeed, I'm sure that's what Coach Taylor is really thinking about. Let's kind of get a run here where we get up by 20 plus and get it near maybe the 5-minute mark, and then he can perhaps back off and make sure that he pulls these starters out, no risk of injury, and let his reserves finish his ball game up. But just the appropriate place for everything during a part of a ball game. And right now, Tuskegee just not at that spot.
Well, to your point, I think the next 7 minutes for Tuskegee are critical, not necessarily for the game, but for their confidence and their momentum going into the next round.
Critical for us in our coverage throughout the season for GTSN, our production crew with the truck right behind our outside Chappie James. And again, just a wonderful job by them as we get set to close our coverage for this season in terms of Tuskegee basketball. All the action now turns its attention after the day to the Forbes Arena at Morehouse College and the coverage during the course of that week on ESPN. Happy to announce that I'll be a part of that coverage for the conference office and covering those games from Wednesday through Friday.
Congratulations.
For the SIAC.
Nice touch.
Yeah, happy to do it. Happy to follow these teams in the SIAC as we head to Atlanta for more conference play.
Have they given you, are you doing color or play-by-play?
Play-by-play.
Okay.
Yeah. Half court set for Tuskegee now. Taylor out on the floor, got it up top to Draper. Draper, right side at the rack, head fakes and pushes back out to Salisbury. Salisbury right side across the floor to Taylor, 6 to shoot. Poston inside traffic, and he's fouled on the inside. The very thing that I was talking about with Taylor, you see it right there. Shot clock running down. He puts it on the floor. Won't be a shooting foul there, but he gets the team a fresh 20 by virtue of his work with the basketball. Taylor in the corner to Salisbury. Entry pass, Draper, left block, turns inside on Webb. Now pushes out front, Culpepper. Chip in the paint, tried to leave it behind for Draper. Spacing too close there. Draper and Culpepper. Culpepper better serve with just shooting that basketball. Blunt works it back up top now to Webb. Baguette had it taken by Draper, and can you say showtime? Draper. Oh, yeah.
Baguette trying to spin. Draper anticipated where he was going with the ball, picked him, and went away with it.
Got a Wind Creek Casino Montgomery fast break lay in, and Alabama power point in the paint all in one with the steal and the flush. You should take a look at it on the replay. 12-16 remaining in the basketball game. Wind Creek Casino out of Montgomery.
Watch Draper on the overplay. Simply gets a hand in, uses his body well, shields, and takes it home.
Took that little slight glance behind him and see if there was anybody else around. Said, yeah, I can finish this one just like I want. Good job by Kasami anticipating defensively and got rewarded with the dunk on the other end. Draper now with 18 in the ball games for Tuskegee. Salisbury with 18, Draper with 18, and Pennington with 20 for the Golden Tigers. At the line for Benedict, Khalil Campbell, the sophomore from Conway, South Carolina, to shoot. They call that foul on Draper for Tuskegee. Not quite sure what the pairings will be in Atlanta on Wednesday for both the men and women, assuming Tuskegee stays ahead in its men's contest. But we'll find that out over the course of today. Just know what those matchings are in tournament play.
Nice to see the tournament back in Atlanta. SIAC tournament's kind of been searching for a home.
Sure. Back in Atlanta after a few years down in Savannah, a couple of years there, down in Rock Hill, South Carolina, a few years prior to that. A lot of speculation that the ball game, the tournament this year would have been played out near the airport at a new arena built out there for the Skyhawks, but not sure about where that was in negotiations as Salisbury misses on a three-point shot. Culpepper got a rebound and had it tapped away. But it'll be at Morehouse at Forbes Arena, the historic Forbes Arena at Morehouse College, starting on Wednesday. Culpepper almost stealing that basketball there for Tuskegee.
Culpepper's got to do a better job of not telegraphing his passes. Got to make the ball fake, see space.
Culpepper, the redshirt junior from Hoover, Alabama, but amongst those players who's departing the Tuskegee program as a jumper there near the front and a follow on the inside by Campbell to get the basket for Benedict. So Tuskegee with a 64-48 lead here with 11 minutes left in the ball game. Pennington out front for Tuskegee. He'll work it right side. Across the floor he goes to Salisbury. Draper coming to set a screen, 13 to shoot. Kevin slides right side. Now back over to Culpepper. 8 to shoot. Chip at the block. Draper. 5. Draper leans inside all the way through. Lost the basketball, but Webb, a big reason why he lost it, and he'll be at the line. Draper for Tuskegee to shoot.
Another crafty move by Draper. Had the ball high, brought it low, knowing that he would probably get contact as he was going back up with it. He'll go to the free throw line.
He'll do that after the timeout. 10:42 remains. Tuskegee leads 64-48. We'll take a break here on GTSN.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow...
As we come back to live action here inside Chappie James, the officials just in front of us, Ogden and Field, and they want to take a look at that last play. If we can re-rack it for them, not sure. The last play. Okay, they're trying to take a look at that last play, see if we can help them out in terms of re-racking that to see what they're looking for. 10:42 remains. Meanwhile, Tuskegee leads at 64-48 over the Tigers of Benedict College in the first round of SIAC. The last play, yeah, just go ahead and run it. I don't know where they want to get it. Let's see where they are on it. Players gathering near the middle of the floor. Not sure if they're trying to determine who the foul may have been on there. Were you looking for who committed the foul? You have the whole play, Phil? Okay, they want to run it twice. Just run the full play twice. Coming from the very beginning there. And you're looking at what the officials are looking down at the block now. Draper sliding the paint. I want to run it one more time. One more time from the truck. So officials got what they wanted. I think they were trying to determine which Benedict player was guilty of the foul inside the paint. From our vantage point, it looked like it was Khalil Campbell. They did call it on Campbell on the scoreboard. If it stays that way, that'll be his second, because he just kind of wrapped his arms around near the throat area of Draper there. Thanks, guys from the truck. Auden Bass, Phil Proctor, Eric Tabor inside that small van as well.
Now, even though Tuskegee has a considerable lead, this is a delicate part of this ball game. We're only midway through the second half. Tuskegee wants to keep the space between Benedict. They don't want to allow any kind of run from this Benedict undermanned team.
Draper at the line to shoot. And I wasn't really calling the guys out in the truck when I said small van. Guys just have a nice appetite. That's
well,
all.
You did say minivan.
Right? Correct. It didn't say mini. Right. Draper to shoot. And Draper spins the first one good for Tuskegee. So Kasame's numbers climbing now. Draper with a 19 in the ball game. See how far he is from the double-double. Draper with 4 rebounds in the contest. And Kasame got them both from the line.
He will now go to the sideline with 10:42 remaining.
Tuskegee leading it 66-48, about 4 or 5 minutes away from that window where they can take the foot off the gas, we believe.
Tyshawn Boyce will get Draper.
Pass batted at the mid-stripe. Tuskegee almost with the steal, but Benedict retains. They're trying to get it down at the block to Webb. They dump it down low, and Boyce comes away on cue with a takeaway on the inside for Tuskegee. He's a sophomore from Long Island. Boyce with it. Nice bounce to Opsink, left side, and how about the finish there? Amir with the assist. Roy with the basket.
Opsink had to adjust in midair to get just enough touch on it with the left hand.
Yeah, he was kind of leaning away from the cylinder there. And then there's a takeaway there by Roy near the mid-stripe, but he stepped on the inbound line after he had this stole, as that basketball was stolen. As we take a look at that replay, watch the bounce here from the pass there from Amir back to Roy on a give and go. And as you referenced, he was leaning away with that left hand, but enough body control to get it going forward. Well, that was an excellent give and go there with Boyce and Opsink. That'll make the highlight reel in terms of the coaches, in terms of their conversation getting ready for Wednesday's play. Could not draw that up any better than the way they did it. 67-48, Tuskegee leads. We approach the 10-minute mark now as Baguette comes across the timeline. And Blunt picks it up. Not sure if Baguette just kicked it over to him or what, but they'll have it. Wins. Back out front. Blunt fires a 3, and he is on target again.
Blunt, if he gets space, he has enough elevation on his shot. He's only 6'1", but he clears space up top to get a good look at the hoop.
Blunt, third three-pointer of the ball game for Benedict. He's got 15 in the contest. We're down to 9:30 left. Tuskegee spreading that floor offensively now with 11 to shoot. And Roy just kind of holding it out front, or Rodney that is, he'll hold it out front. Now they'll go. Pennington on a head fake on a move. Leans back with the jumper. DA back of the iron on that one. Rebound cleared by Gunter. And the Tigers of Benedict as they go back the other way, and we head to 9 minutes left. .906 on the game clock. Shot clock at 22. Jonas Brazel now trying to see if they won't get a reset on the play clock. Nick Brown, he'll go over. Oh, I see what's going on to our left here. This shot clock is out, and that requires Nick Brown's services to come on and see if he can't get it plugged. I think one of the cheerleaders kicked it down in the corner, and they were able to plug it in. As you take a look at men and women's action, got a double screen going here. All right, guys, getting fancy on this last day of coverage here, huh? Spring Hill and Savannah State, that's a final. Savannah State winning that on the men's side, 79-74. And on the women's side, Lane defeating Fort Valley with women's play on this first round day. Half court set. Sedsbury pushes a three. Back of the iron on that. The long rebound to Baguette. He'll slide left side, challenging, and Sedsbury able to strip it away defensively. And it'll stay with Benedict.
Excellent play by Sedsbury as he's backpedaling. Gets his hands out front. Creates enough traffic to force that ball out of bounds.
Take a look at the score on the women's side with Lemoyne and Allen. Lemoyne 7th in the West. In women's basketball, they defeat Allen University. Allen, a second seed in the East, and that is probably going to be labeled as the upset of the day with that win by Lemoyne. Head coach Anthony Partee and his Lady Magicians get it done in first round play. So half court set now for Tuskegee. They lead 68-51. We're at 8:25 remaining. Boyce pushes back to Roy. Shot clock down to 10.
Tuskegee confident to slow things down, use up most of the shot clock.
Pennington rainbow three, that one down and out of the cylinder. Rebound cleared at the block by Blunt for Benedict. Upset there by Lemoyne, 78-70 over Allen. Boy, that's a big win for that Lemoyne program. Spring Hill women, they defeat Edward Waters. That's probably another upset on the day. And back the other way at the block, whistles on the penetration by Baguette. 7:46 remains. Media timeout. Tuskegee leads at 68-51 over the Tigers of Benedict College. We'll take a timeout here as well on GTSN.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15.
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
.746 remains here. Amen corner for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee. They lead it 68-51. Get set to resume action against the Tigers of Benedict College. Tuskegee with just that amount of time ahead of them. If they can hang on and win this ball game, they will go on to second round action Wednesday from Forbes Arena at Morehouse College as the second round of the SIAC starts to take place. There you take a look at our camera crew. Look at that, right inside of that Tuskegee huddle.
Tuskegee the last few times down the court trying to take the air out of the clock by running it very deliberately inside of 5 seconds. Now with almost 8 minutes to go, it'll be interesting to see if they continue this philosophy. Tuskegee still running 3 of 5 of its starters.
7:46 remains. Of course, our score crawl down at the bottom. That's a little bit, that's at the start of the second half. Just don't disregard that. Tuskegee leads 68-51. Tuskegee back the other way on a missed shot there. Pennington to the rack, and DA got a field goal right side with the lay-in. So Pennington with another basket for Tuskegee. He's at 22 in the ball game. Half court set for Benedict now. Up top with it is Wims. Trying to get it inside to Mutombo, but Goins, the freshman, doing a good job of backing him down on that defense with Tuskegee. 6 to shoot now for Benedict. Now Mutombo with it in the left corner. 3 to shoot. Turns, jumper. Got it airborne. They'll get him for a shot clock violation and back the other way. So
when you look at Noah Goins, 6'4", but he's really strong from the waist down. That time he used that strength and balance to keep Mutombo out of the paint. Much taller player at 6'9".
Yeah, it's all about that balance on the inside. Nice call on that last. Noah able to maintain that for Tuskegee. 6:50 left. Entry pass Draper on Mutombo. Doubled. Pushes in the corner, threw it high and out of the reach of Culpepper down in the corner. And Tuskegee turns it over.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah.
Draper saw man open in the corner. Got a little anxious with it. Now 6:44 remaining. Tuskegee with this 19-point lead.
Draper at 6'9", jumping in the air to get that pass in the corner to Culpepper. Draper already taller, has a different vantage point by basis of his height, and then jumped at the end of that. So Culpepper no chance to get that pass. At the block, Mutombo had a nice chance for a lay-in, but not able to convert, and Tuskegee back the other way. Nice cross over there, Rodney to the rack. Missed on the shot. Draper on the follow. Yes, sir.
Draper with the offensive rebound, taking Tuskegee back up by 21 with 6:12 remaining.
Draper now with 22. He and Pennington both with 22. Baguette backs out front. We go down to 6 minutes remaining. He'll slide left side at the block. Mutombo to the glass. Won't fall for Mutombo, but he will go to the line to shoot for Benedict. Got Goins airborne that time, and a foul called on the inside.
Mutombo at 6'10" was within about 4 feet of the rim. Decided to go without using glass. Basic big man 101. You're that deep, go glass.
Yeah, that added advantage of clearing that shot. I remember one summer I went to a basketball camp, and then one of the coaches at the basketball camp, one of the first things he told us on the first day is, like, if you want to be an outside shooter, you want to increase your percentage in terms of shooting, start banking the shot. You shoot it in. You don't have to be accurate on the cylinder. Just put the basketball in the square. That's why the square was designed, to bank it right into the cylinder. Finished my junior year averaging about 15 a game.
Oh.
Off of the glass.
Reminiscent of Sam Jones, another great
nice
jump shooter who used glass.
Nice call. Yeah. Timeout on the floor. Tuskegee leads 72-53. We're at 5:56 remaining. Final coverage on GTSN of the Golden Tigers. First round of the 2025 SIAC Basketball Championships presented by Cricket. Back after the break.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow.
Back live here inside Chappie James, Tuskegee. 5:56 remains. Let's take a look at President Brown. They're back on the scene. They have taken a step out for some lunch or something on a Saturday afternoon, but back supporting the Golden Tigers. AD Reginald Ruffin down to their left, enjoying a soft drink as Tuskegee leads 72-53. Christopher Whitmore out on the floor now, in the corner to Noah. Noah's doubled there, working at the block, and he lost it. It's tapped out of bounds by Mutombo. He'll say that Noah touched it last, so we go back the other way. Now, Christopher Whitmore, got to keep an eye on him. He's a sophomore from Tucker, Georgia. Has a full complement of a game, but he is a three-point specialist for Tuskegee. Last time these teams met, Whitmore went for 16 points in the win against Benedict. Baguette, half-court set now for Benedict. He'll slide left side. Whitmore with him step for step. At the block, they try to get it inside the Mutombo. Draper a little bit too aggressive on the defensive end there, and they're going to get him for the personal.
Draper, normally very expressive player, got that foul call and just smiled at the referee.
Yeah, funny you mentioned that. I was talking to Coach Taylor after the last ball games. It's the same thing about, yeah, Kasame seems to be smiling a lot more as this season comes to an end, right? And Mutombo left that one at the front of the cylinder as Boyce clears for Tuskegee.
He has a quiet confidence about himself.
Sure.
Really understands the game well, plays it under control.
Culpepper out front for Tuskegee, got it over to Rodney. We're down to 5:13 left in the ball game. Tuskegee up by 19. Across the floor now. They work it inside. Draper to the rack, and he's fouled. He'll be at the line shooting. So Kasame back to the free throw line to shoot.
Mutombo and Boyce with a little bit of conversation inside. The extra contact as Draper will go to the free throw line, and that's simply a byproduct of Benedict frustration overall. May have less to do with Tuskegee, more to do with coming into this game totally overmatched. And being overmatched by 19 on the scoreboard with 5 minutes remaining is not much you have left in the tank but frustration.
Absolutely right on that last. That just carries over, and you're already shorthanded coming in, so the least little thing can set you off. Draper has set things off for Tuskegee. Nicely for them on the inside. Missed on that first free throw there. Right now he's got 22 in the ball game. He's got 22, so does D.A. Pennington, and Kevin Sesberry with 18 for Tuskegee to lead the way. Tuskegee from the floor, 25 of 54 shooting now at 46%. As Draper missed them both from the line that trip. Jumper, Wims, right corner. Rimmer is off the mark. Rebound chased down in the corner. Whitmore gave chase, and so did Campbell. And I think it's going to belong to Tuskegee. Good job by Christopher in the corner to fight for that basketball.
Sammy Draper goes to the sideline for a much-needed rest with 4:51 remaining.
Likely the last time we'll see him in the ball game, unless things take a drastic turn. Walker over to Culpepper. Chip across the timeline. Whitmore left side to Boyce. Rodney Walker handles out front. Steady point guard for Tuskegee. 8 to shoot now. He'll work at the right side. Lead behind up top. Whitmore. Christopher on the move. Left side at the block. Jumper. Whitmore missed on the shot. Got it there before the buzzer. Missed on it. Benedict with it. They'll go back the other way. Long jumper by Blunt in the corner. Air ball there. Boyce was turning around. Missed the opportunity to get a free rebound. But it's bounced on the floor by Wims and right over to Tuskegee. And we go to 4 minutes left. At the block, Noah to the rack. Got the basket.
Goins with the quick jump. Sealed off inside. Called for the ball. Knew exactly where he wanted to go on the layup.
Rodney Walker just could not pass up that opportunity, even though there was an opportunity to just run shot clock. As a jumper out front by Baguette is square on for him. Rodney saw Noah cutting wide open and couldn't pass up the opportunity to get it inside. Noah with the first field goal. Here comes Culpepper. Culpepper, double C with the double clutch and the flush for Tuskegee.
Culpepper turns to the bench and says, "You didn't know this about me?"
You better find out. Culpepper with the flush. Alabama power point in the paint. Second push by double C. Baguette out front, and he drains another three-pointer back-to-back for him.
Culpepper with the "what's my name" dunk. Got his elbow just about to the height of the rim on that last shot.
Culpepper this time for three. You don't know my name? You better ask somebody. Culpepper this time outside.
He says you spell it with 2 P's.
Back-to-back field goals. Blunt again out front. Missed on the shot. Culpepper taps it to get it over to Tuskegee.
Give it to the hot man.
Why not? Back again. Rodney behind the back. He'll fire a three-pointer and drains it for Tuskegee. Wait a minute. Don't forget about me, says Rodney. 82-59 with 2:29 left. Bryce Cummings, Roy Absaint, and Julian Watson set to come in next dead ball. Another jumper out front. This one's off the mark. Rodney runs it down for Tuskegee. Rodney, the junior from Decatur, Illinois. And a timeout. Rodney took the timeout by instruction from Coach Taylor, and he wants to take this timeout to get the rest of these players in his basketball game.
So that changed suddenly from Tuskegee burning clock to all of a sudden the Harlem Globetrotters showed up, and spurred on by the work of Culpepper. Tuskegee's bench now goes to the sideline amen corner, as you so aptly called it, knowing that they have this one wrapped up with 2:12 remaining, thinking about, okay, what are you wearing to Atlanta?
Oh, yeah. We've already got the shoes from All-Star Weekend. We're dapperly dressed down low.
So if you get a pair of shoes and they happen to have an extra pair of 12.5 laying around, just put a good word in for your partner. Just put in a word.
I will.
I don't need the shoes. Just put in a word.
Put in a word. I got you. Just a word.
Just a word. I mean, it could be some socks. It doesn't have to be the full Nike sparkly shoes, but you know, could be a wristband or something.
We'll get you something. Take a look at Culpepper out on the floor, sparking the crowd here inside Chappie James. He'll come down the floor. This is coming at you right in your living room there. Bam! By Culpepper. Got that one, and look at him from the outside. Stroke it, double C. Got it for Tuskegee. Good job by Culpepper. He's got 5 with 2:12 left. Tuskegee leads 82-59. Getting a chance to relax a little bit in this first round win as they turn their sights now to Forbes Arena on Wednesday.
Brand new 5 in for Tuskegee.
Whitmore just to our left to inbound it. Like to see him get off a couple of threes. His parents are always here for Tuskegee basketball, and Whitmore threw it away on the inbound pass. Baguette got it there at the block underneath on a reverse lay-in. Boy, that's nice work on both sides for Baguette for the Tigers of Benedict. Whitmore in the backcourt now. Here comes Julian across the timeline. Over to Roy, right side. 154. No reason to expect that some of these players won't try to get into the scoring column here. Absaint out front. Roy, left side, Whitmore. Powell, Evan Howell calling for it at the baseline. He'll drop and work his way toward the basket. 8 to shoot. Evan jumper, left side, spinner. Rebound to Cummings. Nice save by Bryce. The walk-on from Tallahassee. 15 to shoot.
Gets a rise from the Tuskegee bench.
Julian for 3. Watson rimmers off the mark. And look at that Tuskegee bench. Everybody over there standing up, cheering on these players who don't get out there very often, except for a few of these players. Wims to the rack, missed on a lay-in. He'll be at the line shooting. 74 seconds remains in our final coverage on GTSN of this Tuskegee basketball season. And Mark, it has been a really interesting ride to cover Tuskegee basketball.
And what's made it interesting, Charles, is to watch the personality of this Tuskegee men's team develop over the course of the season. We've seen them struggle in some close games down the stretch, but most recently they seem to have gained a second win headed into the tournament in Atlanta. So hopefully that confidence, which I think in some part has to do with that West Coast trip during NBA All-Star Week, getting to play on the big stage has got to affect your psyche positively.
And you know what really came out of that was really not talked about until this past week when it was decided that Tuskegee was going to finish at number 2. They had a couple of ball games after they finished. They were watching Kentucky State and Central State to see what they did in their last 2 as Tuskegee had finished the season. And if Tuskegee had not won that ball game against Morehouse out west, they would have not have finished second. Jumper out front there by Baguette, another 3-pointer by him.
You know, Baguette, Wims, and Blunt have really played a heroic game for an overmatched Benedict squad. They've only suited up 7 for those of you just tuning in. And those 3 have been playing 100% for most of this ball game.
Nice call on that, because those players, you're right, in that kind of situation, what else do you have to play for when you're playing such short? Baguette with 26 in the ball game, Weems with 10, and Blunt didn't even start in this ball game, and he finished with is finishing with 15 so far. So you got to take your hats off to those players with a never quit attitude for the Tigers of Benedict. They work it down low, and a whistle on the penetration by Baguette. So head coach Benji Taylor, hands on his head just in front of the scorer's table. 38 seconds left. Got to be relieved as a ball game like this starts out that you got to take care of this business.
You need to get out of my head, because I was thinking about the personality of not only this game but the women's game. They were two handle your business games, because the women came in against a lower ranked team. Tuskegee's men's team came in against a team that was missing half its roster, and they handled their business.
Half court set, 31 seconds left. Now see if one of these players can get in the scoring column. Watson gives it back to Roy. And Roy works it out front. He'll spin left side, drawing the defense. Now doubled out front. Roy at the sideline had it tapped and taken away. Player walking right into the defense there, and that's really kind of evident of the fact that you don't have limited minutes, so you don't know where the soft spots or weak spots are on the floor. And they caught Roy at the sideline and took it away. And they call a foul inside on Evan Howell. And Evan picks up his second. Webb got the first free throw. 9.8 seconds left. And Tuskegee on its way to second round action at Forbes Arena. A rebound there by Bryce Cummings. 7 seconds left. Christopher Whitmore, he'll pound the basketball in the backcourt. And got it across the timeline. And now Tuskegee will hear the buzzer sound there. They'll win it 82-69. Not sure what was going on that last play as Whitmore was trying to hold it in the backcourt. Coach Taylor was trying to get him to come in the half court, perhaps trying to see if he couldn't get one of those players to take a shot there. But Tuskegee took a shot, and they win it against the Tigers of Benedict, the 82-69. Golden Tigers with a good performance in the second half. They will be on to Forbes Arena for second round play of SIAC action on Wednesday, as well as the women of Tuskegee. Take a break here on GTSN. Come back to wrap things up as the Golden Tigers win it over Benedict 82-69.
STEM careers are one of the fastest growing fields. Yet, women of color comprise less than 10% of the workforce within these high-paying jobs. Tuskegee University is changing this. In 2018, we were awarded a grant from the National Science Foundation to develop computer science career awareness for young African American women. In 2019, we established the Campaign for Leadership and Excellence Scholarship. It provides future female engineers with financial support to pursue their educational goals. Today, Tuskegee continues to educate African American women in STEM fields, empowering them to pursue their chosen careers and providing the foundation they need to transform science, medicine, and technology. If a STEM career is in your future, explore what Tuskegee can offer you.
And we are back live inside Chappie James Arena. Golden Tigers of Tuskegee win at 82-69 over the Tigers of Benedict. Off camera trying to get a word with Coach Taylor, trying to see if we can't get him here for some post-game comments after his team wins 82-69. But all the comments in the world really don't replace what we saw on this floor. Tuskegee just had a better second half of basketball, really started to dominate on the defensive end, which led to their offense, and boy did they get a lot of scoring in that second half.
Tuskegee using the three-point shot to full advantage in the second half, separating from Benedict, an overmatched team by a lot, and doing what they had to do to make the next round. Sometimes you think about these types of tournaments, the first round can sometimes be the most difficult round to get past. They handle their business, as you mentioned, getting past Benedict easily by nearly 20 points, replicating what the women did earlier.
Take a look at some of the numbers from this ball game. Tuskegee from the free throw line, 11 of 16. They upped that mark a little bit, up near 69. from the floor, 48%. They'll finish at 29-61. But it was from behind the arc that they really got that spark in the second half. They finished at 52% shooting from behind the arc. 13 three-point baskets for Tuskegee, and that's an outstanding job by them. The last time these teams met, Tuskegee 9 of 20 from behind the arc, so they do even a better job this time around against Benedict.
Benedict played to its normal playing personality, turning over the ball more than they have assists. They came in with more turnovers than assists. Tonight, they had 15 and only 8. Look at the other side of the ledger. Tuskegee with 21 assists and 14 turnovers. That 2-to-1 ratio working in Tuskegee's favor. Also, all the way at the bottom, fast break points. Tuskegee able to get out and run against a team that had to be a little bit winded late on this game.
And I'm sure that's what Coach Taylor wanted, was to get it into a track race. As you referenced, Wind Creek Casino Montgomery, fast break points for Tuskegee, 26 in the ball game, as they defeat the Tigers of Benedict College 82-69. We'll take a final break here, trying to see if we can't get Taylor up out of the locker room for some final thoughts from him before we close out our coverage of Golden Tigers basketball on GTSN. Stay with us.
For 5-star backyards, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Hey, are you fixing the power?
Yep, I'm gonna get the lights back on.
Yeah, my power went out and I have to start level 14 all over again in our game. Yeah, why didn't mine go out?
Well, we have this technology that can stop an outage in its tracks.
Why?
So less people will be affected during the outage.
Why?
So you can make the level 15?
Come on, Brian. Let's go to your house and keep playing.
Good luck, guys.
And we're back live inside Chappie. James, the news all good for Golden Tigers basketball. The women win. They advance to second round play on Wednesday. The men follow. They win over the Tigers of Benedict College. They advance to second round play at Morehouse on Wednesday as well. Mark, as the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee advance to more tournament play, it's primarily due to a few of those players that we highlighted in the pregame that had some outstanding play for Tuskegee this afternoon.
The women leading on their veteran leadership, the men leaning on the three-point shot, but both teams going to Atlanta with a very important companion, momentum. And that's the most important thing. You look at the three-point shooting by Tuskegee Culpepper from deep. He was really the difference maker in that second half, getting open looks and just breaking the hearts of Benedict.
Of course, that's D.A. Pennington out front there with the threes. He finished with 6 3-pointers in the ball game for Tuskegee. As you take a look at Rodney Walker, he got into that three-point fray as well. And you referenced Culpepper, he got one in there late when he came into that ball game as well. So they did a great job outside shooting the basketball. But Kasami Draper on the inside offered something else for them as well in terms of his work on the inside.
Draper did work inside on the post against two players, against Mutombo and the larger player for Benedict, Webb, who was about 260. And Draper just operating like a man in the paint. Didn't matter who was on him, but he did an excellent job of scoring inside for Tuskegee, and that big dunk inside. Here's the breakaway dunk by Draper. Looks behind him, checks his rearview mirror, and throws it down.
And we referenced that Kasame, as this season has progressed, he has gotten a lot more definitive about his work inside the play, determining what the matchup is, deciding what's the best place for him to start that set, and he's done a good job coming down the stretch for the Golden Tigers.
Now here's the fun part. Going into Atlanta, I would expect Tuskegee to continue run their offense through Draper down low, and that's an excellent weapon to have when you have the outside combination shooting from deep. If you can get both of those working, you can be a dangerous team in this playoff.
Part of the trio for the Golden Tigers of Tuskegee this afternoon, of course, Kevin Sesbury. Sesbury, always so instrumental in that offense, did the same thing this afternoon.
Sesbury showing leadership, thankful that he is not favoring that knee any more than he did in the last games. Seemed to play with a lot of freedom this afternoon, getting his offense early, some key points outside and inside.
Yeah, it just seems that for Sesbury, Pennington, and Rodney Walker, that it just gets to be contagious amongst them. Once one of them starts hitting from the outside, the other two really try to follow suit, and most of the time it really works to their advantage.
The thing I like about what Tuskegee did, their offense was playing in sync. They seemed to play at the same pace. Nobody was really out of control. Turnovers to assists were a very good example of how they were able to run their offense against Benedict.
Not real sure who the Golden Tigers will have in second-round play at Forbes Arena on Wednesday. It will be a challenge for them because after the first round, you get into those teams that hosted in the first round, and all of those teams are going to be quality teams against Tuskegee as they look toward winning the SIAC title. They win it this afternoon, 86-69, as you take a look at the men's bracket as what's left in terms of play at Morehouse. Quarterfinals, Edward Waters and Clark Atlanta, Albany State and Tuskegee. And that's what you're doing, is flipping from one east to west. Central State at Fort Valley or Morehouse. I think that's going to be Morehouse coming out of that, and then Savannah State at Miles. And of course Miles Idle, they had the bye in the first round play. All these other teams played in first round action, and that's what we'll have set for you in semifinal play from Forbes Arena. This is on the women's side right quick before we flip out of that. Central State, Clark Atlanta, Spring Hill. That's who Tuskegee will have. Spring Hill on the women's side. They played the Lady Badgers twice during the season, defeated them both times. So they will have them in quarterfinal play. Lemoyne versus Lane, and then Savannah State and Miles. And Miles on the women's side, they had the bye as well because the men and women finished #1 in the West.
Two quick thoughts. It's difficult to beat a team 3 times in one season.
Yeah.
Spring Hill will be looking for revenge. Second thought, Miles is really the class of the SIAC right now. It'll be interesting to see how they match up.
Indeed, you're right. Miles on both sides, the men and women. Tuskegee went up against Miles on the men's side and were able to get either one of those. But on the women's side, Tuskegee defeated Miles twice in the regular season. So all of that just ahead. And when you get to Forbes Arena starting on Wednesday with second round action of SIAC play. We'll take our final break here. Final thoughts on GTSN after that.
Tuskegee University's founder, Booker T. Washington, said, "Excellence is to do a common thing in an uncommon way." At many universities, big classes are common. Not at Tuskegee. We have small classes with a 14-to-1 average student-to-teacher ratio. This formula for excellence ensures individualized attention. You get to know your professors, and they get to know you well enough to recommend you for internships, research, graduate programs, and job opportunities. Small classes, big impact. It's all part of educational excellence at Tuskegee University.
We're back live here inside Chappie. James Golden Tigers win it 82-69 over the Tigers of Benedict College. And Mark, not a whole lot to say. They just did what they had to do, needed to win to go into second round play, and they were able to do it.
They did what they had to do. Now the challenge is to get in a couple of days of practice and on to Atlanta.
They'll go on to Atlanta. Coach Taylor coming to our left and getting set to get him in for a couple of thoughts. Don't leave, don't go anywhere. When he's done, we'll wrap things up on air. Coach Benji Taylor headed our way. Mark will step out for just a second. We'll get his thoughts, and we'll let him step in. May not even need to take a 30 here, Coach Taylor. He always tells me that he's always ready, so I don't even know if he needs a 30-second time. See, there he's going, nah, man, I don't need a 30. Who needs a 30? We don't need no stinking 30.
I stay ready.
Coach,
stay ready.
I know you stay ready, brother.
Like a fresh pan of macaghetti. When I was younger, we were so poor. My mom used to make a pot of spaghetti, and we eat it till it run out. After a few days, we're not hot, are we?
Yeah, we are.
Oh, my fault.
Yeah, that's all right.
By that third or fourth day, that sauce get a little
gamey, right?
I about 3 years. I told my mom, Ma, I don't want no more Macagetti. I couldn't say spaghetti.
Ah, I got you. That's where that came from.
She said it broke her heart. But baby, that's all we got.
That's
I heard my dad like, baby, that's all we got.
That's it.
To this day, I don't eat spaghetti.
Oh, really?
No, sir.
Humble beginnings, right?
Oh, they were the best.
Coach, you talk about the best. Your squad really looked that way today.
Yeah.
Started out kind of slow, kind of feeling out this Benedict team with a limited roster that they had. But after a while, just kind of got into your rhythm and just blew the doors off.
Yeah, proud group. They're a proud group. They're down, and in the beginning, the game was a little too slow. So they were able to kind of stay in it, 12-6, 12, bachelor's basket for basket. But once we got the tempo sped up with our defense, and we wound up doing a good job and got our hands on a lot of balls. I don't know how many deflections we got. Well, we don't do deflections, but they only had us for, we had 11 steals. So, yeah, I was trying to get around 15 steals if I could, so we can kind of score in transition a little bit. But DP and Kev got hot midway through the first half, and from there it just kind of, got motivated a little bit.
Well, we were talking about it, and we're just really kind of into your head because of what you just talked about. The idea was to try to see if we couldn't get them out of that slow pace where they could hang around. They were limited in terms of people coming off the bench. The idea was to speed it up a little bit, and one, it kind of tired them out, but it also got us into the rhythm of play that we're typically play in. Yeah,
and they got too many free throws down the stretch, which helped them control tempo as well. We fouled them too much in the second half, but I thought we were pretty good today for we didn't play 40 minutes, but we played close to it, man. I thought we did a good job. We had some guys come off and give some good contributions as well, which we're going to need next week.
Sure,
to win 3 in 3 days. We're going to need some guys to play more minutes, and I got a chance to see them tonight, kind of have a good feel for where we are.
Take a look at some of the numbers that are on the screen here. From behind the arc, 13 three-point baskets. Most of that's definitely coming in the second half. When DA gets into that rhythm, is there anything you're telling him at sideline, or is he just staying into the flow of the game when he finds his space on the floor?
He was doing it all on the floor of the game. I thought he took one bad shot in transition and kind of got on him. After that, everything was in, kind of out of what we do. And, DP's first year, he was a 43% three-point shooter. So I try to tell him, man, just don't make the game hard. Don't over-dribble it. And if they leave you open, make them pay. And down the stretch here, man, he's played some really good basketball.
Yeah, we're looking at some of his highlights in that basketball game. Just a phenomenal job by him as the captain of this team. And when we needed it here, he provided a real spark to kind of get going what you were talking about in terms of forcing that pace to be a little bit more up-tempo.
Right.
Benedict just couldn't handle that.
And they were finding them. And I'm saying, KD had 4 assists at halftime, one up with 5. But R.J. Walker, 8 assists and 0 turnovers is amazing for a guy making this transition. I think, one game he had 9. That night he had 8. I just think he's done an outstanding job.
Yeah, you talk about RJ's performance. Sometimes night in, night out, it's not like a glaring statistic, but with him, he's just so steady, always plays at that certain tempo. And one of the things I was so happy to hear you talk about was the fact of the way you had to coach him, because he's coming in, taking over a program that, coming out of a JUCO, that type situation. Yeah. It's a different transition for a player like that.
And he's out there with some alpha males now. We got 3. He playing, and I keep telling them, don't listen to them. Do what I tell you to
Listen
do.
to me, right? I'm the number 1 alpha.
I'm Mufasa. Because KD wanted, DP wanted, Kevin wanted. How do you set the table for so like that? He threw it across the court to DP. DP said, "My fault, coach. I called for it." I was going to run a single side ball screen for him. I wanted to keep it in his hands, but he's such a great kid, and he tried to make everybody happy. Make me happy.
Sure, and everybody else can deal with it.
I'll deal with them. Make me happy. So he's finding his way. The guys love him. He's a good leader. Need to be more vocal, but man, he's done an outstanding job for us.
Yeah, it's just so many fingers you can point to in this ball game in terms of why Tuskegee won it over the Tigers of Benedict. That's the momentum that's needed for going into Wednesday. Not quite sure who we got on Wednesday as of yet.
We play Thursday.
On Thursday? Okay.
The number 1 seeds play Wednesday
okay.
against 2 winners from today. Who won today?
Trying to get it. We got it here on the screen. We can run through some of these in just
Come on,
a moment
studio,
here.
get us right, baby.
Yeah, they're following you. They're always ready too now. You can,
I'm gonna find out.
See what they got.
1, 2,
it
3.
may take them a second to rack it now.
5,
you know how you are in post game. You stay
7,
all day anyway, so we can wait till they get it up, right?
9, 10. Hey, that's they see.
I'm trying to recall just off memory. I know you obviously know Morehouse won that early ball game today. They played at 10.
Hey, those guys in the studio, great. Let me stop playing when they do a great job, man. But yeah,
one of the upsets, I believe, on the men's side. Let's say that Edward Waters ball game. Do you recall who they played today?
Kentucky State.
Okay, didn't see a final for that.
But that was 4-5. So
yeah. Anyway, that's not a real surprise.
Edward Waters is pretty injured right now, but they're good.
Take a look at the brackets that are coming up. So
Edward Waters beat Kentucky State.
Yeah. So that's where you got it on the men's side. They get Clark Atlanta.
When does Central State and Fort Valley play?
That's right here. I guess is that going to be on Wednesday as well? That Central State.
That's going to be in.
They got.
That's going on now.
Yeah, that's at Morehouse.
That's too good. There's a lot of parity. Savannah State must have beat.
Yeah, they did.
Spring Hill.
Yeah, on the men's side. And believe it or not, on the women's side, Spring Hill's women won.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they did. I was surprised by that. Yeah. But on the men's side, they got beat. Savannah State and Miles will play in that first round with Miles first coming into play after having that bye.
It's a good looking bracket. You know why it's so good looking?
No,
because we're in it.
Okay, that's a good answer.
Because we're in it. So,
just getting an update on that Central State Fort Valley. They got a minute to go, and Central State leading 75, I think 64. So it looks like Central State's going to clear the deck on that to meet Morehouse.
Well, I heard that Lane Albany game was a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go back and look at that.
Well, you'll get a chance to digest a lot of that as you get a couple of days off before we head into Atlanta. You said we're playing on Thursday.
Yeah, a couple of days off. Oh no. I'm about to go home right now. Do something nice for my wife and get her in a good space.
I thought you were going to say your usual cigars at Vibes Restaurant.
Oh, I'm going to do it. We have Vibes now. We're on the patio.
Yes, sir. I know that.
Steak and cigars. but about 9:30, 10, I'll be back on that film.
I got you, brother. Yeah. Take your couple of hours. Yeah. Congratulations on this win. We'll see you in Atlanta on Thursday.
Yep. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Charles.
Head Coach Benji Taylor. Thank you, brother. They win it 82-69 over the Tigers of Benedict College. First round play of the 2025 SIAC Basketball Championships. So it's on to Forbes Arena on Thursday, and action for Tuskegee in second round play.
Studio, great job.
There you go.
Great job, studio.
You heard it from Coach Taylor on camera. He can't take that back. We got him on camera. Right?
Listen, ESPN would have took 45 seconds to get that up.
All right. Your frat brother saying, way to go.
Aye.
There you go. Thanks, Coach Taylor. Great season, regular season. Great win in the first round. We'll see you on Thursday from Forbes. Head Coach Benji Taylor going to get Mark Lassiter in here a couple of final words as we say goodbye on our coverage on GTNs. Mark, a big part of that throughout this season as he and I track the Golden Tigers during the course of the regular season and on to first round play here at Chappie James. And Mark, as the Golden Tigers close out this first round and we close out our coverage on GTS, and let me just say, first of all, it has been an extreme pleasure working the microphones with you.
It's always fun. It's like riding a bicycle. There were sometimes I felt a little bit like I hadn't done this before. Then other times were like, oh yeah, I've done this before and I know this partner. So it really worked well, and it was fun covering both men's and women's teams because they have really shown their playing personalities grow throughout the season.
And as you referenced, that's kind of getting our feet back under us and GTS in terms of our production crew. Not a whole lot of lead time for them in terms of them trying to get their feet. They started out strong and they finished strong today with our coverage. Just a phenomenal package that's put together on behalf of Tuskegee Athletics.
Well, GTSN between football and basketball has really broken some new ground for this university, and it can only continue to improve from here. So it's been a blast working with you, and good luck in Atlanta.
Golden Tigers, women and men, will be there on the course of the week. They will play. The men play on Thursday. I think it's going to be the same for the women as well, because they'll have first-round women's action on Wednesday as well. That'll do it for our coverage here on round one of the SIAC tournament. The Golden Tigers on the men's side, they win at 82-69, and the women, Tuskegee, they win 73-53. So both set of Golden Tigers on their way to Atlanta into Forbes Arena at Morehouse College for second round play. Special thanks to Tuskegee President Dr. Mark Brown, Chief Operating Officer Rolandis Rice, Athletics Director Reginald Ruffin, Deborah Rogers, the Deputy Athletics Director, and to Nick Brown, Jordan Brinson as a part of the the Tuskegee Athletics staff. And a special thanks to Mark Laster for his coverage in terms of game analysts during the course of the basketball season, and to our entire GTSN production team led by Ogden Bass, Phil Proctor, and Eric Tabor. Great job, guys. And thanks to you for watching our coverage throughout the season for Tuskegee basketball. That'll do it for our coverage here from Chappie. James, Charles Ward on behalf of broadcast partner Mark Lassiter saying thanks so much for watching, and this has been a production of the Golden Tigers Sports Network.
Hey, future business leader, launch your success story at one of the nation's premier HBCUs. Learn cutting-edge practices and feed your entrepreneurial spirit. Tuskegee University. We get the business of business education.
Glad they got those 2 wins.